The lunch rush at Rosie's diner always came with noise, clattering plates, sizzling grills, loud laughter, but for Emily Carter, the loudest sound was always the whispering. It started the moment new customers noticed the deep scar that ran like a jagged lightning bolt across her left cheek. Some stared too long. Some looked away quickly. And some, like the group of well-dressed college kids sitting in booth 7, didn't bother hiding their laughter. Emily had grown used to it, or at least that's what she told herself. She tied her blonde hair into a ponytail, adjusted her blue apron, and forced the same gentle smile she practiced every morning in the mirror. Confidence, she would whisper to herself. You survived worse. Years ago, a house fire had taken her father and left her with the scar. What it didn't take was her determination. She worked double shifts to support her younger brother's education, ignoring the sting of cruel comments that followed her like shadows. That afternoon, however, the whispers turned into open mockery. Hey, is Halloween early this year? One of the boys laughed loudly as she poured their coffee. The girls beside him giggled. Emily's hand trembled slightly, but she kept her voice steady. Can I get you anything else? She asked politely. Yeah, the boy smirked, leaning back. A better face. The table erupted in laughter. A few customers turned uncomfortably away, but no one spoke up. Emily felt the heat rising behind her eyes. She had promised herself she wouldn't cry at work. Not again. She turned quickly, heading toward the kitchen, pretending she hadn't heard a thing. But humiliation has a way of echoing louder in silence. Outside the diner window, a sleek black luxury SUV pulled into the parking lot. Most people barely noticed it, except for Rosie, the owner, who raised an eyebrow. Well, that's new, she muttered. Moments later, the diner door chimed softly as a tall man in a tailored brown blazer stepped inside. He carried himself with quiet confidence, not arrogance. His eyes scanned the room, observant and calm. Conversation slowed. Even the mocking table fell silent for a second, distracted by his presence. He took a seat alone near the window. Rosie nudged Emily gently. Table 12 is yours. Emily inhaled deeply and walked over, keeping her gaze professional. Welcome to Rosie's. What can I get for you today? She asked softly. The man looked up at her, and instead of shock, disgust, or forced politeness, his expression showed something she wasn't prepared for, respect. What do you recommend? He asked warmly. His voice was steady, kind. Emily blinked, slightly thrown off. The house special is popular, she replied. He smiled. Then I'll trust your taste. As she walked away, she felt the mocking eyes from booth 7 again. One of the girls whispered loudly, guess even billionaires need horror stories. A few snickers followed. The man at table 12 heard it. His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. When Emily returned with his order, he asked calmly, does that happen often? She hesitated. I'm sorry. The comments, he clarified. She forced a small shrug. People see what they want to see. He studied her for a moment. I see someone strong. The words hit her harder than the insults ever had. Before she could respond, a crash echoed across the diner. The boy from booth 7 had intentionally knocked over his drink, soda spilling across the table and onto the floor. Oops, he laughed. Guess Scarface distracted me. This time, a few customers gasped. Emily grabbed a towel quickly, kneeling to clean the mess as laughter erupted again. But before she could finish, a chair scraped loudly against the floor. The man from table 12 stood up. The room fell silent. He walked over slowly, each step deliberate. Is something funny? He asked calmly. The boy scoffed. Relax, man. It's just a joke. The man's gaze didn't waver. A joke is when everyone laughs. I only see one group enjoying this. The diner grew quiet enough to hear the kitchen timer ticking. You owe her an apology. The boy rolled his eyes. Or what? The man reached into his pocket, not aggressively, but confidently, and placed a sleek black business card on the table. Or you can explain to your father why the internship at my company no longer exists. The color drained from the boy's face as he read the name. It was the CEO of one of the largest tech investment firms in the state, a self-made millionaire known for turning small-town startups into global brands. Whispers spread instantly through the diner. "You're him," someone breathed. The men ignored the attention. His focus remained on Emily, who was frozen in disbelief. The boy stammered, suddenly pale. I didn't know that she was human," the millionaire interrupted quietly. Silence. After a tense moment, the boy muttered a weak apology and quickly signaled for the check. Within minutes, the once loud table rushed out of the diner, embarrassment trailing behind them. The tension dissolved into soft murmurs of admiration. Emily stood there, overwhelmed. "You didn't have to do that," she whispered. The men turned to her gently. "Yes, I did." He paused, then added, "No one should feel small for surviving something painful." She felt tears rising again, but this time, not from humiliation. "Why would you risk business over me?" she asked softly. He smiled. "Because character matters more than connections." He returned to his seat, finished his meal, and when it was time to pay, he left something unexpected on the table, a generous tip and a folded note. Emily unfolded it with trembling hands. "I'm hosting a charity gala next month for burn survivors and families rebuilding after fire tragedies. I'd be honored if you'd attend as my guest. Your strength deserves a spotlight, not shadows." Beneath the message was his personal number. Rosie peeked over her shoulder, eyes wide. "Honey," she whispered, "do you realize what just happened?" Emily looked toward the window where the luxury SUV waited under the golden afternoon sun. For the first time in years, she didn't feel defined by her scar. She felt seen. Not pitted. Not judged. Seen. The men paused at the diner door and glanced back. Their eyes met. He didn't see damage. He saw resilience. And in that moment, something shifted inside her. The scar that once felt like a curse now felt like proof that she survived, that she endured, that she was stronger than cruelty. As the SUV drove away, Emily held the note close to her heart. She had walked into that shift feeling invisible. She walked out feeling valued. And sometimes, all it takes is one person brave enough to stand up, to remind the world that kindness is power. If this story touched your heart and you believe strength is more beautiful than perfection, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join our community for more powerful stories that inspire courage, resilience, and life-changing moments. Because the next story might just change your life too.